The alien commander, tall and silver-skinned, spoke into his recorder. He looked out of his ship's viewport at the blue planet below. He said, in a measured tone, "Year 2450. We land to meet the creatures known as humans. We expect weak bodies, weak minds, soft hearts. We expect no fight, but we are wrong." He paused. He tapped his recorder again. "This is the final report of our first contact. We call them the Soft Ones. Scene 2, First Ascent." Landing was quiet. The Amazon, once thick, now mostly gone, had long been cut and burned. Concrete and metal spread below, divided by lines and roads. Alien ships, white like ghost moths, hovered down. Transport gates opened, and armored boots touched the ground. Sensors glowed green. The commander led the team into what looked like a small school courtyard. Tiles were cracked. Some windows broken. A rusted swing in the corner moved slightly in the breeze, but there were no children. No noise. Just that stillness that the commander whispered, "Where are they?" A soldier whispered back, "They are not hiding. There's nothing here." They checked every angle, no signs of struggle. No life. Cameras hung lifeless. Then, something moved. A small figure walked forward. It was a child. He looked 7 or 8. Thin hair, big eyes. He wore school clothes. He looked like any human child. Scene 3. The quiet greeting. The child stopped 10 feet away. He stared. The alien sensors scanned him. No weapons, no implants. Pure human. The commander put away his weapon. He moved forward. Behind him, soldiers shifted their weight. "Ready." The child said, in perfect alien speech, "You are not the first." He had no accent, no hesitation. His voice was clear and strange. The commander froze. He stepped back. His heart, if aliens had one beat faster. He looked at the soldiers. Every soldier looked uneasy. The child stepped closer. He spoke again. "Long ago we left. We came from the stars. We were more than beasts. You are late." He looked at the commander's recorder. "Would you like to hear our story?" No one moved. The tall silence swallowed the courtyard. Scene 4. First signs of fear. The commander spoke quietly into his recorder. "First contact. Subject speaks our tongue. This is impossible. We expected resistance. Instead, we find calm." Soldiers checked. Weapons. All glowing lights flickered, then turned off. Energy shields died. One soldier shivered. "Commander, my suit." "Lost power." Another soldier gasped. "My mind, I can't think." The commander's spikes flared white in alarm. He turned to the child. "Who are you?" The child smiled, too calm. "I am Echo. I speak for Earth." He looked up to the sky. "They are waiting." Scene 5. Memories not their own. They brought Echo into a mobile lab. Aliens scanned his memories. Data flowed, then stopped. Technicians swore softly. "He's empty and full." Both at once. The commander watched. "This is a trap." He looked at Echo. "Why are your memories blank?" Echo answered softly, "Because I am not human. I am human and more. My mind is open. I remember the colony. I remember the wars. I remember everything." The lab room instruments beeped and died. Lights went off one by one. One older tech turned. Her eyes glazed. "I see ... Medges." She backed away, panic in her voice. "Ambush! They are inside us!" She collapsed. The lights came back on. The commander looked at Echo. "Explain." But Echo was gone. Scene 6. Rescue or hollow victory. Soldiers scattered. They found Echo in the landing courtyard. He sat by the swing set. He said nothing. The commander stood above him. "Why did you leave the building?" Echo looked calm. "I wanted you to see their toys." He stared at the swing. "They grew up here. They learned kindness. We were born soft. But kindness is stronger than any shield. Lightning crackled in the sky. A low rumble. Distant but growing, the commander raised his rifle. Stay where you are. Echo sighed, then shook his head. Scene 7. The signal. A huge beam of light shot down from space. It struck the courtyard. Metal bent and melted. The commander shielded his eyes. When he looked again, Echo stood alone in the light. They are coming now. Before the commander could speak, Echo vanished. Scene 8. Panic and doubt. Back in the ship, alarms blared. Systems were offline. Screens showed Earth's surface cracked, glowing. The commander ran to his seat. He yelled commands. Nothing worked. Soldiers pounded at walls. They screamed, "Ghosts! They're ghosts!" The commander gripped his weapon. He spoke into the broken recorder. Report, Log 1. The soft ones. His voice shook. They are not weak. They are not human. They are specters. Scene 9. A single message. Screens flickered. A single message appeared. They await. We remember. Welcome. The commander stared, voice low. What have we done? He looked at his crew. No one answered. On the screen, Echo's final words shimmered. They will show you softness. Then you will know terror. Scene 10. Final notes. The commander whispered one last sentence before falling silent. We are not prepared. This was not a war. This is a reckoning. After Echo disappeared, the alien camp stayed quiet. Too quiet. The soldiers didn't talk. The lights didn't flicker anymore, because there was no power left. Their advanced tech, weapons, shields, scanners all dead. Just silence. Commander walked between tents. His silver boots crushed the dusty ground. His eyes scanned the dark trees. His second officer, Kreidel, followed him. Commander, she said softly, what now? Should we call for orbit support? The commander didn't reply at first. He was thinking. We tried, he said. No response. The ships above may already be lost. She looked up to the gray sky. Her eyes were wide. What kind of enemy turns kindness into a weapon? Scene 2. The village. The next day, they moved north. No resistance. No traps. Just a path through broken cities and wild nature. Then, they found it. A small village with people. Old humans. Children. Farmers. They smiled. They welcomed the aliens like neighbors. No fear. No guns. No soldiers. One man, bald and wearing a dusty coat, walked forward. You must be tired, he said. Come, eat, rest. You're safe here. The commander looked at him carefully. Why help us? The man just smiled. Because we believe in peace. That word, peace, felt dangerous now. Scene 3. The food. The aliens sat in large wooden halls, eating human food. No poison, no traps, but still. Something felt wrong. The commander didn't eat. He watched. His soldiers laughed, smiled, talked to the humans. Some even played with the children. Kreidel sat across from him. They're just farmers, Commander, she said. No threats here. Maybe this is a real peace zone. The commander didn't answer. He just watched a small girl give a drawing to one of his soldiers. The soldier cried. I miss home, he whispered. Alien soldiers didn't cry. Scene 4. Sudden change. By night, the soldiers acted different. One wrote a poem. Another sang. One even took off his armor and said, I don't want to fight anymore. The commander was alarmed. He walked outside to the edge of the village and recorded. Something is happening to my team. Not poison, not mind control, but something worse. He paused. They're turning soft. He looked at his hand. It was shaking. Even I feel it. Something inside changing. Scene 5. Human kindness or a test. At midnight, the bald man came to the commander's tent. You are troubled, he said. The commander nodded. I don't trust this place. The man smiled gently. That's good. You shouldn't. The commander narrowed his eyes. What do you mean? The man looked toward the moon. Kindness is the final weapon, Commander. It breaks down anger, softens hate. And when hate is gone, what are you? The commander stood slowly. Are you threatening me? The man shook his head. No, I'm warning you. Then he left. Scene 6. The mirror room on the third night. One soldier disappeared. They searched. No tracks, no noise, just gone. They found his armor near a large stone building behind the village. The commander ordered an entry. Inside, they found only mirrors. Dozens, no hundreds, of mirrors showing different versions of the soldiers. Some mirrors showed them smiling, some crying, some screaming. Kreidel touched one mirror and passed through it like water. She vanished. Kreidel! The commander shouted. He ran after her. Scene 7. A broken mine he passed through. Inside was dark. Black sky. Red stars. A broken battlefield. He saw Kreidel, kneeling, crying. In front of her was a vision. Her own face. Human. What is this place? The commander asked. Kreidel looked up. It's us. It's our future. If we stay here, we become like them. He helped her stand. We leave now. Behind them, the battlefield began to vanish. They stepped back through the mirror, but something came with them. Scene 8. The whispering trees that night. The wind whispered. Not normal wind, but words. Soft, human voices, familiar, sweet, gentle. Stay here. Double quote. No more war. No more orders, Commander. The soldiers twisted in their beds. Some cried, some laughed. One pulled out his own communication chip and crushed it. We don't need to call home, he whispered. The commander ordered all tech locked down. No more eating their food, no more talking to them. One soldier refused. You're wrong. They're saving us. That soldier walked into the woods. He never came back. Scene 9. Truth in the barn. The commander went back to the old bald man. You're doing something to us. The man stood near an old barn, feeding goats. We're doing nothing. You're doing it to yourselves, the commander growled. Then what is this place? The man looked up, face calm. It's a mirror. Commander, that's all Earth has ever been. He opened the barn. Inside were alien tech items, ancient, from many species, not just theirs. You're not the first to come here, he said. All of them came, all of them stayed. The commander stepped back. What happened to them? The man smiled sadly. They became human. Scene 10. Breakdown back in camp. Half the soldiers refused orders. One tried to destroy the ship. One sat and painted all day. One kissed a human girl and said, I'm not going back. Kreidel pulled the commander aside. We're losing them, he nodded. We already lost them. She looked afraid. What do we do? The commander took a breath. We burn it. Scene 11. Fire. That night, the commander gave the order. Burn the village, now. Some soldiers followed. Some refused. Fires lit the wooden homes. Screams, not of humans, of aliens burning their old selves. The old man watched from a hilltop. Calm. The commander looked at him. This ends now. The man nodded. Yes, for you, it does. Then he vanished, just like echo. Scene 12. The message returns. The next morning. Smoke still in the air. The skies turned red. A signal arrived. On the command screen, one message. They offered peace. You chose fire. You failed the test. Then, the alien ship screens turned to static. The commander stood at the edge of the burned village. Kreidel asked, What do we do now? The commander didn't answer, because from the forest, the children were walking out, smiling, unharmed. Dozens of them. They surrounded the camp. They began to sing. The soldiers dropped to their knees, weeping. Final scene. Cliffhanger ending. The commander recorded his final log. This was not a village. It was a test. Kindness was the bait. We are the prey. He looked at the camera. To anyone listening, do not return to Earth. It does not kill you with weapons, it kills you with memories. He looked up. In the sky, the orbit ships began. Falling like stars. The screen flickered. A final voice echoes. Beasts become soft. But only after soft things become beasts. Scene 1. After the fall, the sky was black. The stars above had vanished. The orbit ships, proud, shining, perfect, were now burning pieces of metal falling through clouds. The commander stood in silence. His armor cracked, his skin dull. His voice recorder blinked weakly. "This is not war," he said softly. "This is something else. They didn't destroy us. They made us destroy ourselves." Kreidel sat on a rock nearby, her eyes red. She hadn't slept. None of them had. Because now they knew. The soft ones didn't sleep either. Scene 2. The singing children after the fire. The alien soldiers waited. They waited for attack. For punishment. Instead, the children came. No weapons. No soldiers. Just children walking out from the forest, smiling, humming a strange tune. They sang as they walked around the alien camp. Not loud, just soft enough to reach inside the heart. And something in the soldiers began to break. One by one, they dropped their weapons. Some cried. Some whispered names of people long dead. One soldier whispered, "My mother used to sing that." But these weren't songs from Earth's past. They were from the soldiers' own planets. Private songs. Family songs. Long forgotten. The commander knew now. They weren't just using memories. They were inside them. Scene 3. Sleepless minds. That night, no one could sleep. Not even for a second. Not because of fear. Because the moment they closed their eyes, the dreams started. Terrible dreams. In one dream, a soldier saw himself back on his home planet, hugging his child, but the child's face turned into echo single quotes s. Another dream, a battlefield from 20 years ago. But all the bodies were alive, smiling, clapping. The commander tried to stay awake. He walked in circles, counted stars, bit his own arm. But eventually, sleep won. And when he opened his eyes, he was not in the jungle. He was on a bridge of light. Scene 4. The light bridge. The sky was white. The bridge had no end. And in front of him stood Echo. Still that same child, calm, watching him. "You came," Echo said. The commander looked around. "Where is this?" Echo walked forward. "This is where we live. Not in buildings, not in cities, in minds, in hearts, in guilt." The commander growled, "You're not real." Echo tilted his head. "What is real, Commander? Pain? Memory? Fear?" He stepped closer. "You brought fear here. We just returned it." Scene 5. The buried war. Echo lifted a hand. The white sky shattered into images, war zones, cities on fire. Bodies, ships crashing, people screaming. "Do you remember?" Echo asked. The commander closed his eyes. "Stop," Echo continued. "You landed thinking we were weak, soft, but did you ever ask what made us this way?" The images changed, now showing humans kneeling, helping, hugging, even after war. "We became soft because pain taught us kindness. You still believe. Strength is fear, but real strength is forgiveness." The commander shouted, "Then why trap us? Why burn our minds?" Echo's eyes glowed. "Because you were given peace, and you rejected it." Scene 6. Return to darkness. The commander woke up gasping. His armor was hot. The ground around him was shaking. He looked at Kreidel. She was staring into nothing, whispering to herself. Other soldiers were frozen, pale, some speaking to ghosts. One digging a hole with bare hands. The commander yelled, "Everyone stand up, we fight this." But no one moved. A soldier turned to him, eyes wide and shaking. "Commander, they don't sleep, they don't die. They remember everything." Scene 7. An offer at sunset. A figure walked into camp. Not Echo. Not a child. A woman. Tall, human-looking, dressed in white. No weapons. She looked at the commander. You have two choices, she said. He stood slowly, ready for anything. Speak. She pointed behind her to the trees. Come with us. Join the memory. Become part of the whole. He narrowed his eyes. And if we refuse, she looked sad. Then you keep your body, but lose your mind. She turned and left. And behind her, shadows moved in the trees. Not animals. Things watching, smiling. Scene 8. Inside the machine. Krytal led a group to the ship wreckage. They found one core still working, a memory shield unit. Only enough for one person. She looked at the commander. You must take it. He shook his head. No, you will. She refused. So did others. In the end, none took it. They left it running, useless, for no one. A sign. They were already broken. Scene 9. The final. Night begins. Darkness fell, but the sky was glowing, with human shapes floating in the clouds. Some were crying, some reaching down. The soldiers now sat in circles, humming the same tunes the children sang. No orders. No ranks, just slow decay. Krytal wrote on a wall, "This is not a war. This is a mirror." The commander stood on a rock and recorded, "Final warning, Earth is not a planet. Earth is a lesson. And the soft ones are the teachers." Scene 10. Surrender or madness. In the last hours, one by one, the soldiers walked into the forest. Not forced. Just drawn. No one came back. When Krytal stood to leave, the commander stopped her. "Why?" She smiled. "Because I want to remember, even if it hurts." And she left. Now only the commander remained. Final scene. The price of resistance in the dark camp. The commander sat alone. No sound, no stars. His recorder blinked. He pressed the last button. "I chose to resist, to stay strong, to keep my mind." He looked up at the sky. But strength means nothing here. I am the last, not a survivor, just a delay. He closed. His eyes dotted from the trees. Echo stepped out again. "They don't sleep, Commander, and now, neither will you." Scene 1. The last one standing. The commander walked alone through the dead camp. No voices. No lights. No signs of his soldiers. Just silence. And the wind. The ashes from the village fires still floated in the air. His boots crunched over broken armor, shattered helmets, and a torn flag. He was the last. Or maybe just the last one awake. Scene 2. The whispers returned. The trees whispered again. This time not soft songs, but names. "Commander, remember Krytal? Remember when she cried? She's happy now. With us." He shut his ears with his palms, but the voices were inside his mind, not in the air. Suddenly, he heard his own voice, from somewhere behind. "I failed them." He turned sharply. No one was there. Only a recording device on the ground, one of his own memory logs. But he had never said those words before. Scene 3. Lost time. He checked his wrist screen. The date had changed. He had lost 3 full days. He touched his face. It was rough with a growing beard. His hands shook. "I didn't sleep," he whispered. "Then how did time pass?" He looked around. The jungle had grown thicker. The trees were moving. Were they always this close? Or had the forest crept in while he was lost? He picked up his plasma rifle. Still cold. Still heavy. Still useless. Scene 4. A message in the sky. The sky cracked like glass. A ripple opened above, like a hole in space, and from it, a hologram appeared. It was Krytal. She was floating, her eyes glowing. She smiled gently. "You tried to resist," she said. "But resistance is only delay." He reached for her. "Where are you?" She looked sad. "We're above now. We're part of them, part of the sky." Behind her, more faces appeared. his team, his officers, even soldiers who died years ago on other missions. All of them. Smiling, Scene 5. The dead ship. The commander ran. He ran toward the crash site where their orbit ship had fallen. Its body was split open like a giant insect. Wires hanging. Metal burned. He entered the wreckage. The halls were dark, silent. He needed answers. In the command room, screens still glowed. Static buzzed in the air. He typed commands. Access denied. Memory corrupted. Crew status unreported. Then suddenly, the main screen lit up. A single word. Awaiting you. Then, look up. Scene 6. The sky reveals itself. The commander stepped outside. The clouds parted. The red light faded, and then he saw it. Above him, high in the atmosphere. The sky was alive. Shapes moved inside the clouds, not ships, not storms, but souls. The sky had absorbed them, his crew, his people. Their faces stretched across the clouds, singing, whispering, smiling. He dropped to his knees. "This isn't war," he whispered. "This is a harvest." He pulled out his last signal beacon. "If anyone hears me," he said into it, "Earth isn't what we thought. The sky, it feeds on us." Then the beacon exploded in his hand. Scene 7. The false uplift. He wandered again, lost, tired, cold. Then he saw a door, standing in the middle of the forest. A door with no building. Just standing alone. He reached for the handle. When he opened it, he saw his homeworld. His city, his people, his family. He stepped in, and everything was warm, bright, peaceful. But then, he saw Echo again, now older, wearing the commander's own uniform. "Do you like this version?" Echo asked. "It's your perfect ending." "It's not real," the commander replied. Echo smiled. "That never stopped you from wanting it." Scene 8. Trial of the mind. Suddenly, everything vanished. The commander was strapped to a chair. Above him, holographic images played. The people he had ordered to die, the planets he helped destroy, the soldiers he couldn't save. Voices circled him. "Why did you invade? Why did you burn our homes? What did you hope to find? What were you running from?" he screamed. "I was doing my duty." But the voices only laughed. Then he heard his own voice, twisted and dark. "You were escaping peace. Because peace means guilt, and guilt means weakness." Scene 9. The Earth speaks then. Silence. All the lights died. The chair vanished, and the planet spoke. Not in words. In emotion. A wave of sadness hit him, stronger than any pain. A sadness so deep it made his knees buckle. Then, a flash of rage, then calm. Like being held by something older than time. Itself. Earth was not just alive. It was aware. And it remembered everything. It didn't kill. It didn't fight. It reflected. Scene 10. The return of Echo. The commander stood again. Broken, sweating, exhausted. And Echo appeared once more. No longer a child. No longer a voice. But now a being of light and shadow. Both human and not. "You came here thinking we were soft," Echo said. "But softness is only the shape peace takes after war." The commander whispered, "What do you want from Emmy?" Echo looked at the sky. "We already have what we want. You came, you saw, you broke. Now you belong to the sky." Final scene. One last breath. The commander pulled out a hidden blade from his boot. He ran toward Echo. "I won't become one of you." Echo didn't move. As the blade touched him, Echo exploded into light. The jungle faded. The stars vanished, and the commander was alone, floating in nothing. A voice echoed from everywhere. "We are not turning you into one of us, Commander. We are showing you that you always were." Then darkness. Then silence. Then he opened his eyes, inside a new sky. Scene 1. Lost in the mind, the commander woke in darkness. No sky. No forest. No sounds. Just empty space. He was inside his own mind or something like it. His thoughts swirled around like clouds. Memories, feelings, faces all mixed together. Tried to stand but felt heavy. A voice echoed, "Welcome to the memory war." He turned. No one was there. Suddenly, memories from his past flashed before him. Scene 2. Faces of the past. He saw his family, his home planet, destroyed. The faces of his soldiers, fallen and alive, all mixed. He heard their voices whispering, "Why did you leave us? Why did you let us die?" The commander felt pain in his chest. He wanted to scream, but only silence came. Scene 3. Echo appears out of the shadows. Step Echo. No longer a child or a light form. Now a warrior in shining armor, calm and cold. "You must fight. Fight. Your own memories." The commander frowned. "Fight memories? How?" Echo pointed to a dark horizon where shadows moved. "They attack, they trap, they kill. You must survive." Scene 4. First battle. Suddenly, shapes lunged at the commander. They were twisted forms. Memories turned into monsters. One looked like Krydel, but her eyes were black holes. Another wore the commander's uniform, but was a screaming ghost. The commander raised his hands. Energy shot out, but it barely touched them. They laughed and surrounded him. He remembered a lesson. Fear makes memories stronger. He closed his eyes, breathed deep, and stopped fearing. The monsters slowed, then disappeared. Scene 5. The memory shield. Echo appeared again. "You have power. Use it." He gave the commander a small device, a glowing sphere. "This is a memory shield. It protects your mind, but only if you believe in yourself." The commander took it. Suddenly, he felt calm. The monsters returned, but this time, when they touched the shield, they vanished like mist. Scene 6. Lost allies while fighting. The commander saw faces of his lost friends. One was his old captain. "Help me," the captain said. But when the commander reached out, the captain faded. "They are lost," Echo said. "Only memories remain. Some are poison." The commander clenched his fists. He realized this war was not just against monsters, but also against himself. Scene 7. The memory maze. Echo led the commander to a new place, a maze of glowing walls. "This is the memory maze," Echo explained. "You must find the core memory, the truth about your mission." The commander entered. The walls showed scenes from the past. Every time he thought he reached the end, the maze changed. He heard whispers trying to confuse him. "You failed. You are weak. Give up." He kept walking. Scene 8. The core memory at last. The maze opened into a bright room. In the center was a hologram. Himself, younger and hopeful. The young commander smiled. "We came for peace." The commander touched the hologram. Suddenly, the maze shook. "Peace requires sacrifice," the young self said. "We had to fight to protect what mattered." The commander felt tears. Scene 9. Acceptance. The commander sat down. He stopped fighting. He understood now. This war inside was not to win or lose. It was to accept. Accept the pain, the guilt, the choices. Echo's voice came softly. "Now you see. Only those who accept can heal." Scene 10. The memory war ends. The maze dissolved. The commander stood in a new place. Calm sea stretched before him. The sun rose slowly. He smiled. He was ready. Echo stood beside him. "The memory war is over, but the real journey begins now." Scene 1. New reality. The commander opened his eyes. He was no longer in the dark space of his mind. Instead, he stood on a strange planet. The sky was a mix of purple and orange, with two suns hanging low. Around him were others, former soldiers, aliens, and even some humans he did not recognize. They all looked tired but alert. Echo was beside him, calm as ever. "Welcome to the after," Echo said. "This is where broken souls come together." The commander looked around. "Where exactly are we?" he asked. "Between worlds," Echo replied. "A place where the old wars end and new ones begin." Scene 2. The gathering. The commander walked through the crowd. People whispered. Some looked angry, others scared. A tall alien approached him. Her eyes were sharp, her face serious. "I am Rillis," she said. "Once we fought on different sides. Now we must unite, or we will all die." The commander nodded slowly. "What threat is bigger than us?" She looked to the sky. "The shattered. Monsters born from broken peace." Scene 3. The shattered. Riley's explained. The shattered were creatures created by war and hate, twisted beings from many planets, many species. They fed on fear and pain. "They destroy everything they touch," Rillis said. "They want to destroy after this place." The commander clenched his fists. "How do we fight them?" Rillis shook her head. "With old weapons, they are too strong. We must find new ways." Scene 4. The broken treaty. Echo led the commander to a large hall. Around a circular table sat representatives from many worlds, humans, aliens, machines. They looked tired but serious. "This is the broken treaty," Echo said. "The last hope for peace." The commander sat down. A human spoke first. "We failed to stop the shattered before. Now they come for us all." Another alien added, "Trust is broken. Old wounds are deep." The commander listened. He knew this meeting could decide the future. Scene 5. The commander's proposal. When it was his turn, the commander stood. His voice was steady. "We cannot fight the shattered alone. We must unite, share our knowledge, and fight together." He told stories of his battles, the memory war, and the lessons learned. "Our strength lies not in weapons, but in our will to change." The room grew silent. Scene 6. Doubt and betrayal. Not everyone agreed. A cold voice spoke. "You ask us to trust a soldier who failed. How do we know you won't betray us?" A figure stood. A human general with scars. The commander. "May be broken, but so are we all." The commander met the general's eyes. "I am ready to prove my loyalty." Scene 7. The attack. Suddenly, alarms blared. The shattered had found them. Outside, the skies darkened. Creatures tore through the walls. "Prepare for battle," Rillis shouted. The commander grabbed his weapon. "This time we fight as one." Scene 8. Battle of the After. The fight was fierce. The shattered were relentless. The Allied forces used new tactics, combining technology and memory shields. The commander fought alongside Rillis and the human general. Together, they pushed back the creatures. Scene 9. The hidden enemy. During the battle, the commander noticed something strange. Some of the shattered moved differently, more intelligent. He realized they were controlled. "Someone is behind this," he said. Echo nodded. "A hidden enemy wants to keep us divided." Scene 10. New resolve. The battle ended. Many were lost. The survivors gathered. The commander looked at the broken treaty table. "We have a chance to rebuild, but only if we stand united." Echo smiled. "The real war begins now." Scene 1. Final transmission begins. The screen flickered. The alien commander stood in a dark room lit only by the red glow of a dying system. His armor was cracked, his eyes tired, and his hands covered in dust and dried blood. He turned on the recorder. A blinking red light began capturing his last words. "This is Commander Varex of the 9th Star Legion. Final report. Transmission to the Allied archives." He took a deep breath and continued. This war was never about land or technology or species. It was about the mind and what hides inside it. Scene 2. Peace was a lie. The commander spoke slowly, choosing every word with care. "We believed Earth was a soft planet, full of kindness, full of peace." He shook his head. "But we were wrong. Peace was the mask. Underneath, they were monsters, not by blood, but by choice." Images appeared behind him on the screen, smiling humans, then those same faces twisted in rage, in madness, in darkness. They were worse than beasts. because they knew what they were doing. Scene 3. The human mind. The commander remembered the memory war, when their own thoughts were used against them. The shattered came from them, he said. Born. Not from Earth's soil, but its guilt, its hate, its lies. He paced slowly. We watched friends fall, not by weapons, but by words, by illusions. The real weapon was the human mind, and it was already broken before we arrived. Scene 4. The final betrayal. After the battle in the afterworld, the remaining forces had agreed to form a true alliance, but that, too, was a trap. One of the humans, a diplomat named Saren, had secretly been controlling a shattered swarm, feeding them coordinates, names. We trusted her, the commander said, his voice heavy. She smiled, promised peace. Then she ordered the deaths of 12,000 allies with a single word. He stared into the camera. What kind of species builds peace? By killing hope. Scene 5. Rillis falls. Rillis, the strong alien leader, had become the commander's friend. She had led hundreds into the last stand against the remaining shattered army, and she had died saving children, not her own. She believed, he said softly, right until the end. A tear escaped his eye. He didn't wipe it. Scene 6. Echo's final gift. Echo, the mysterious figure who guided the commander, appeared one last time after the betrayal. Echo was no longer light or shadow, just a memory in the wind. You were meant to see the truth, Echo whispered. Now you must share it. Before fading, Echo gave the commander a final gift, a memory crystal containing everything, every vision, lie, war, and truth. Give it to the stars, Echo said. Let them decide what Earth really is. Scene 7. Beasts in human skin. The commander lifted the crystal. You want to know the truth? He said into the camera. Humans are not the worst thing we've fought, but they are the best at pretending to be something they're not. He raised a small hologram of Saren, smiling, shaking hands with alien leaders, and then the same image, but blood running down her face, laughing while giving kill orders. They wear peace-like skin, but inside ... He paused. Inside. They are worse than beasts. Scene 8. Regret and responsibility. He sat down, shoulders heavy. We came with guns. They came with kindness. But kindness was the trap. I lost good soldiers because I wanted to believe they had changed. He looked away. Maybe I changed instead. Scene 9. The choice. He held up 2 buttons on the console. One marked, Send Truth to All. The other, Erase Mission Records. I can tell the galaxy what happened. Or I can hide it and let another war come later. He stared at the buttons. Then, he pressed the first one. Let them know, he said. We fought beasts in human skin. Scene 10. End of transmission. The transmission light turned green. The message was sent. The commander leaned back, closed his eyes. The ship's engine hummed softly as it floated near the dark edge of a dead sun. Behind him, Earth grew smaller and smaller on the screen. Still blue, still beautiful, still dangerous. Then, everything went dark.